What is going on, everybody? Good afternoon, good morning, good evening, you beautiful, beautiful people. It's Sunday. I hope everyone is having, as always, a fantastic day. Give me 1 second. Let me turn down this music just a smidge. But I appreciate every single one of y'all tuning in. Thank you so much to all the love and support we get. We have got more subscribers now than ever. But guys, if you are not already subscribed, it mean a lot if you click that subscribe button on down below. So thank you as always. Let me make sure we got everything set up, which we do. Bam, bam. Folks, today we're going to be looking at folks doing the HEX price, right? What's going on with the HEX price? Who's selling? Who's buying? We're going to be diving in a little bit deeper and back to the old antics of ATX crypto. We're going to be looking into some blockchain analysis, checking it out. So give me 1 second while I just make sure that it doesn't double tweet this out. It does tweet. Why does it do that? All right, I'll delete you. Bam. All right, we got that all set up. So again, thank you so much to everyone who is tuning in. I got so much love happening from everyone as of lately. I had a little bit of a little crisis, you know what I mean? That little moment in time where you're like, I don't know what I'm doing. But shit, we all go through something like that, I feel like. So this is just my little moment. We're still growing. We're still happy to be here. I'm still happy to be here. If you aren't already, guys, I do a stream live every single day if you did not know. Typically, it's at 1:30 Central Standard Time. I decided today would be the day that I would update my computer. And the update took longer than I anticipated. So that's why we have what we have right now. Absolutely. Big GZ, thank you so much. Big GZ has been so much help and so much support. I'm so glad and thankful to have Big GZ in my corner. Not only that, every other person who's in the corner as well, supporting the channel, becoming a Patreon. Thank you so much to every single one of y'all. If you want to join the Patreon, link is down below in the description. You get access to Discord, and among that, you also get access to a profit-taking spreadsheet, which we can, of course, dive into more in depth and detail. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me at Twitter or Telegram, ATX Crypt, and I'll talk to you there. So today, guys, HEX has been on a absolute tear over the last few days, right? We've been looking at HEX, we've been checking it out. I like how the music got louder as I switched the screen. That was just funny. But and again, I'll dance to the freaking music, man. I get fired up listening to this. Cool. Maybe Pup Cup first. So I'm thinking dropping my home. Sounds good. All right. Again, as always, once the wife sends a message, want to make sure we get those messages taken care of. So she's going to be dropping the little puppy off here at the house. Y'all got to see the puppy in the stream the other day. If you missed it, feel free to go back. He was barking, so I had to bring him on stream, and I got to showcase what the little puppy looked like. He's a board and train that we have here at the house. My wife is a dog trainer, and he's a cartoon de Tulier, which is just a fancy name of saying a really fucking cute dog. But maybe when he gets here, I'll show him on stream as well. Because why the F not, right? Guys, look at this, though. HEX has been on an absolute tear over the last few days, and if we just measure from January 31st on up, even right now, it's still up 51% at the price of 0.37 or 3.7 cents, 3.8 cents, right? At one point in time, it actually got as high as 4.9 cents. So it actually did basically a 2x from this point in time all the way up to here. And it was really freaking close to hitting 5 cents, guys. That is really the next level of resistance that we're looking for. That's what we're trying to see, what we're trying to pay attention to. It's at least what I'm paying attention to. Richard Hart made the announcement basically saying stage 7 was right here. He said code's complete right here. And folks, when he said stage 7 was complete and we're on halfway through stage 8 already, oh my gosh, people are like, kapoosh! And that day alone, I think we ended up doing roughly about 30%. Yeah, 29.25% on the day. Incredible movement over here overall as well. And then we've seen some action over the next following days. People are selling, people are taking profits. No harm, no foul there. In fact, that is what I actually implemented as well. I'm now implementing a strategy for every 2x that you get, you can take some profit, folks, and that profit is up to you. I have a whole spreadsheet, which you can get linked down in the description below by joining my Patreon, but it does a great job showcasing where to take profits at, how to take profits, where to go back in at the profits, and just overall learn the overall ecosystem of profits. So if you follow me and you follow the channel and the spreadsheet, you are actually able to collect some profits as well. Folks, profits is not a bad thing. It's not a bad word. It should not be cowered behind, and you should actually be proud to take profits, because damn, if you were able to see a 2x in 3 days, incredible. That is an incredible move, right? So I want every single one of y'all to make sure that you are also taking care of yourselves, your family. I want y'all to be sure that you can scoop up these dips whenever it comes back down, because folks, if this shit comes back down below the 3-cent level and we start bouncing in here between 2.8, 2.7, somewhere in this range, I'm probably going to have some limit orders down here in this range to scoop up some more HEX. I'm not trading because I don't anticipate that we may never even see that. But folks, I'm going to put limit orders down here just in case. Because if the price does end up dipping, I want to make sure that I'm capitalizing on those moments in time. I hate coming with fresh powder. That was one thing that I definitely learned in this bear market / bull market, was you can make phenomenal profits in crypto. And I'm talking life-changing wealth in crypto, folks. Life-changing. Generational wealth can truly be made. However, that can also go away just as quickly, guys. We've seen a 95, 97% drop in a year. Now, that is very, very different from where we were sitting just a year ago. So I thought, how can I make sure that I end up in a situation where I can capitalize and take advantage of the dips, but also make sure that if something was to hit the fan, that I still have some profits that I was able to take? And that's what I was able to implement. So that's what we do here with ATX Crypto. And I want to share that journey with y'all as well. If you want to join the ride, of course, I'll keep you up to date in where I put my limit orders in place. Now, I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice. If you decide to do anything, you're a big boy or big girl. You got to own responsibility for your actions. I'm not the one who's telling you to buy, sell, or do anything like that. I'm just sharing what I ended up doing. So thank you so much to everyone who's coming into the streams, guys. It is Sunday. And we have folks already tuning in all around the world. So folks, my love and appreciation means the world that y'all are taking the time to spend your time with me, your weekend with me, as a matter of fact, right? This is a time where if you are working, you don't really have a lot of relaxation time, right? So Monday through Friday, most folks are working, right? They work that 9-to-5 job. And then you choose to spend your time with me. Aw, thank you so much, guys. Really does mean the world. If you are checking out this stream, be sure to click the like button. Be sure to click that subscribe button. Again, it means the world as well there. Looking at what we have going on, though, I really wanted today to be a day where we kind of start diving back in and looking at who's buying, who's selling, who's doing what, right? So during this time, we had a lot of action happening, possibly even some whales stepping back in. And that's kind of what we've been talking about here with the channel as well, guys. This 3-cent level, we had a very hard time breaking for many, many months. Over 6 months, I believe, was August, if I'm not mistaken. The last time we were even close to that 3-cent level. Oh, December, we cusped it. I mean, it was not long on the 3-cent level, right? You know what I mean? But look, all the way back here in September, we've been bouncing in this 3-cent range for quite some time, and we haven't really been able to get away from it. And folks, within like hours, this thing just went kaboosh and blasted off into the moon. So if you were able to take advantage of some of this action, kudos to you. I'm making sure that making sure that I can take as much action as I can. And again, guys, PulseChain could launch any second now. So make sure that y'all are doing everything you can to also be sure you're ready for when PulseChain launches. We may not get a public V3 testnet. Believe it or not, we actually might not get it. Can you believe that? And what are you going to do if we don't get a V3 public testnet? Make sure you have the 5 P's, right? Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Guys, say it with me. Proper preparation prevents poor performance. Those things are vital, right? Make sure you have a strategy that you can implement, that you can execute for whenever PulseChain launches. Have contingency plans in case something else doesn't go the way you think it will. It definitely doesn't always go the way we think it will, right? Like whether it be price going up, whether it be price going down, whether it be PulseChain launching, have plans ready for all those cases, right? I'm already thinking ahead of time. What do I do if we do not get public V3 testnet? Well, fortunately, I don't mess with any other chains like Avalanche or Polygon or BSC, so I don't have to worry about moving my cryptos over. But if you are on other chains and you're wanting everything copied when PulseChain launches, make sure that you have everything over on the Ethereum network. Make sure you're doing stuff right now. Stop trying to gain the little bit of like maybe 8% yield that you may be getting over on a different chain. Make sure that you have the ability to just move stuff over and then be patient, because we may get PulseChain soon in the next 2 weeks. We might get it in the next month. We might wait for another 6 months. I don't know exactly the time frame of PulseChain launching, but I'm making sure that if it launches without a public V3 testnet, I'm going to be ready for when it launches. Are my stakes the way I want it done? Do I have liquid, whatever it is, whether it be HEX to swap into Pulse or PulseX, or what is my play going to be when it happens, right? Like, make sure that you're using this time, that you're using this opportunity to make the best possible decision that you're going to be okay with when it happens. Making an emotional decisions is not good, right? We talk about it all the time. When you make an emotional decision, it may work out in the end, but most times it doesn't. So just be patient and be ready for what that looks like, okay? We got Crypto Freedom in the house. What's up, ATX? Let's fucking go. Full moon today. That's the way that's why the cryptocurrency market is down. Yeah, so if y'all don't already do this, I used to actually have this set up with TradingView, where I would actually have a chart that I would look at as well. Let me see if I can just pull it up real fast. Might as well. Because I think with TradingView, you can actually look at the full moon cycle, the lunar cycle, my apology, /charts. So you can actually pull up the full moon lunar cycle as well on TradingView, if I'm not mistaken. Don't quote me, but I'll double check, because it's been a while since I've pulled it up. But why not do it now while we're streaming? Perfect time, right? Let's look like fools together. All right, here we go. Lunar. I knew it wasn't TradingView. Who is it that does it? Dang it. I knew I was going to look like a silly goob. No way it's this one. Indicators. Lunar. Moon phases? I forget what they call it. It's not called lunar cycle. It's something weird where it's like moon phases or something. Moon phases. There you go. It is freaking TradingView. Whew. I should save this so I don't look like a silly Billy again. All right. Now I have that saved, and we have the lunar cycle moon phases pulled up. So if you haven't known this already, folks, typically when it comes to a full moon, we actually get a pretty big price action on the positive, and then new moons we actually get the opposite, if I'm not mistaken. Let me zoom out just a smidge here so we can really see. I actually thought it was the backwards way, where full moons we got negative, new moons we got positive. And maybe HEX isn't the way to do it, because unfortunately HEX is so freaking heavily tied with PulseChain launch now. Yeah, so it looks like with full moons we actually get negative, with new moons we get bullish. Yeah, I think that's the way that it goes, right? New moon. So this is a full moon right here, and we get negative, and then this is a new moon right here, and it kind of stayed flat. This is a new moon, we went bullish, and it's usually within like a 3 to 5 day window as well. So when we get this little full moon here, we actually get bearish for 3 to 5 days. So we actually should be bullish, if I'm not mistaken. If we're entering the new moon phase right now, we should actually be bullish. Because, yeah, you get the little new moon here, you get the new moon here, you get a bullish cycle right here, you get the new moon, we get the bullish momentum. So I think with new moons, we should be bullish, if I'm not mistaken, Crypto Freedom. Correct me if I'm wrong. I could absolutely be wrong. Oh, because it's a full moon today. Gotcha. Yeah, no, so you said it right. I'm silly, and I'm the backwards one. I'm all sorts of all over the place today, aren't I? Yes, with full moons, then, see, it looks like we're going to get a new moon based on what this cycle's looking like. I'm tripping, though. Who knows? Because I haven't seen the new moon cycle here. Well, now I gotta see. What the heck? Moon. What is the moon phase tonight? Lunar phase calendar. 99.9% full moon. Interesting. So am I backwards on this? Are these new moons? And this is full moon? That would not make any sense. Growing moon, waning moon, new moon mark. Yeah, I was backwards on it. So full moon is this little light gray. Interesting. I'm just all over the place, man. I apologize. Just delivering wrong information about the moon phases. I need to get myself up to date on these damn moon phases here. So this was the new moon here. That's so backwards. It looks like it's the opposite way. This lighter color, it looks like it should be a new moon because it's, you know, not showing itself. And then this fully lit color right here looks like it should be a full moon because it's fully lit. However, the cycle is backwards on this. Full moon is actually lighter, and the new moon's full moon's darker and new moon's lighter. Interesting. Okay. Well, I just want to pull that up. If you want to check this out yourself, you definitely can. Just go to TradingView, type in moon phases on the indicators. You'll get a good little view of what it looks like. Back to HEX of what the actual importance is, because that's what I care about. I care about HEX, folks. HEX is by far a main contender in my life for crypto. The one I mainly focus on, of course, we check out other things as well, but the one that we primarily talk about are Richard Heart ecosystems, HEX, PulseChain, and PulseX. So Crypto Freedom, you're absolutely correct. Academaciated, howdy ATX, what's up my friend? How are you doing, Academaciated? Love seeing you in the chat as always, folks. It is a nice, beautiful Sunday. Everyone is tuning in. So let's check out what these freaking whales are doing, okay? So if I scroll on down, guys, this is dexscreener.com. I love it because it actually lets you see a whole bunch of information about what these folks are actually doing as well with the markets, right? Are they selling? Are they buying? Who's doing what? And how much are they doing it for? So you can see over here on the right side, we actually have a pretty good indicator. Whoa, that was so loud. Why were you so loud? Okay, so we have a pretty good indicator here showing 414 buyers, and we actually have 278 sellers. You can't really see the sellers. The screen is cut off a little bit, but we have 3.4 million in buys and 5.8 million in sells. So folks, people are selling. Obviously, we got a red day. It's pretty obvious that people are selling. When the candles are red, it just means that there's more sellers than buyers. That's as simple as it gets. But I want to take a look and see who's selling, right? Because god dang, obviously there's a good profit taking percentage, but if these folks are just getting in and getting out and trading and selling their whole position and getting out, that's how you're going to get wrecked. I do not advise trading. You will get wrecked. So let's take a little look. What should we put the minimum amount for USD on? We'll start with 50,000. Let's just see what the folks who are cashing out or buying 50,000 are doing. So we got one person here. This is today's date, February 5th of 2023. We have today's date sitting at this person buying $53,000 worth of HEX, getting 1.4 million HEX. So I always like to see what they're actually doing and what they're about, because why not, right? Let me see if I can get this pulled up to where y'all can see everything overall. Here we go. Screen options, screen share. We're going to zoom. That looks a little bit better. And then I have to adjust the size. Whoops. Oh, I go up here to adjust the size. Cool, cool, cool. Again, I got a whole new streaming software, so just be patient with me while I learn this with y'all as well. That's what we do here with ATX Crypto. We always try to mess with things slowly, do slow little configurations, and that way we know what to fix when something breaks, right? So we're going to lock that in place. Cool. Okay. So this person right here, this just seems to be a market maker. Why you already see, or it's like a DEX or whatever, because there's just tons of transactions. Let's just see. I'll click it anyways just to see. Yeah, no matching entries, because that's essentially just what they're doing. So I'm not going to pay attention to that one. Let's see this one here. They just sold 69,000. So let's see what they're actually doing. They basically converted it over into a stable coin sitting on $107,000. They don't hold any liquid hex, it seems like. They basically have no hex. We're going to count that as no hex, right? 0.000001, whatever that is. So what are they actually doing, though, right? 10 minutes ago, they swapped their hex for USDT, and they just sold 990,000 hex. They also just sold 1.83 million hex. 1.2 million. So these folks are trading, guys. Look at this action. You can see that they're trading just because of how it's working with them. 1.5. Look at this. 2 days ago, they bought 1.5 million. They also bought another 1.2 million. And then the very next day, they're selling, right? 2 days and 20 hours ago, they're selling right here for 49,000. So they basically converted what was 40,000 and got $9,000 in profit in it. So they're moving their whole bag, it seems like, at this point in time, because you can basically go down. Yeah, 10 days ago, these people are absolutely trading, and this is a dangerous game to play, folks. I highly advise you do not go this route. Personally, I cannot tell you what to do with your money. I'm not a financial advisor. This isn't financial advice, but dude, you could get wrecked going this route. Because you're over here trying to play this game. 1.7 million Hex just bought, and then they sold it for USDT. You know what? Let's see if they have anything staked, and I can almost guarantee they don't. Why? Because if you go down these transactions, you'll see nothing was sent to a burn address or a null address. So literally, I can go in and just click all of their transactions. Go to the last page real fast. So they did stake some hex a while back. Look back here. 354 days ago, February 16th of 2022, they created 2 stakes, it looks like. One for 22,000 hex, another one for 1,100 hex. So they didn't even stake that much in the beginning. Maybe it was a test, so let's just see. Because then if you scroll down, you can see that they minted these, so they kept staking, it seems like. It seems like once a month they would stake, right? So May was here. They staked again in June. They staked again later that month in June. And they started staking a little bit more. 895,000, 87,000, 34,000. So they were staking some. Well, now you got me curious, man. Good job. Good job on that. You got me curious, bud. So what were you actually doing? And we'll check out their stakes here in a second as well, because that's what we do here at ATX Crypto. We like to dive in and figure out and learn what we can. So they were staking essentially every month from February of 2022 up to about July of 2022 from what I can see. Then they started ending some stakes, right? So they had a stake end where they actually were able to capture probably that 895,000 hex staked to 910,000. And they swapped that hex for USDC or USDT. So they immediately converted out of their staked hex and converted it into dollars. Kind of surprising, because unfortunately they were buying. If we look at the chart, when hex was back here, February of 2022, we can just kind of zoom out. That was back when hex was roughly, hitting. Let me make this weekly just to make it a little easier for the eyes so we can see bigger candles. All right. So they were staking all the way about here. So they were actually staking on the way down. Unfortunately, they probably got into hex and they were like, oh, this is going to be amazing. Let me just delete some of this stuff that I have drawn on here. I've been drawing just kind of all over the place here. So we'll get rid of those. And this one, cool. And yeah, so let me Control Z that one. So basically, it looks like they were launching, they were waiting, they were staking in this time frame, February. They may have been a part of the PulseChain sacrifice. I didn't really look to see if they sent anything to that address, but they were staking all around here, all the way up until about July of 2022. And they probably started seeing that the market was coming back up, and so they probably ended up starting to sell their positions back when it was roughly about 5 to 7 cents. So they probably lost money on their stakes overall based on, how we look at it. Now, you gain more HEX, folks. The one thing you have to understand is you may lose in dollar value, in dollar terms, but you gain more HEX. That's how staking HEX works. That is the benefit of why you stake your HEX, is to get more HEX. So while the dollar value may go down in the staked HEX, the actual amount of HEX that you get is way more. So when the prices pump back up again, you are so thankful that you staked your HEX. But they were staking all up until about this point. So back to this address here that we're looking at. All right. And then they really just started selling. And they staked again. Here we go. They staked again September of 2022. They ended their stake here, and it looks like converted that stake out to some USDT and took some profits. And have they really staked again since? Let's see. No, they ever since September of 2022 was the last time they put a stake in. They were like, I am done staking. And from there, they probably started trading, right? And so we could see they started getting pretty active with the trade with HEX. So they were over here, swapped 2 million HEX for Tether, bought some more HEX here, 672,000, swapped that in for USDC or USDT. They started this trade game, roughly, all the way back before here, but roughly October of 2022. And it looks like they've just been playing the trade game now. Because look how active they are. 67 days. And this is page 2, folks. 16 minutes ago, like they're going to buy some more HEX. Like based on what they're doing, they're going to buy some more HEX. They're going to swap it again once prices do certain things. So I highly, highly recommend that you don't go this route and don't get caught up. Patience is going to reward you in many multiples. Not just in the fact of more HEX later on in the future, but also just the ability so you don't get caught up in this scenario where price just escapes you. Because that can happen within minutes, seconds, hours with HEX, guys. It can happen super fast. So I don't recommend going that route, but we're going to check to see if they have any stakes, right? Because we are always curious here with my channel, ATX Crypto. We always want to see what these folks are about. What made them decide to stop trading, and what made them decide to start looking into trading, to stop staking and to start trading. So I'm going to go over here. This is hexfire.io. I recommend everyone check this freaking website out. Crispy Man did a phenomenal job for this as well. And so I'm going to paste in the address up here, and I'm just going to filter out this address because I'm just curious to see if they even have any more. They have 4 stakes open. Fair enough. So they have 4 stakes open. They have 8.6 T shares. They've been moving millions of HEX, and to think that they only have 145,000 HEX staked kind of seems a little bit backwards to me, because if you look at their movement over here for their ERC20 transactions, they're moving 990,000, 1.8 million, 1.5 million. If you stake this out on a nice staking ladder situation, you can get massive reward in the future. And so they're definitely thinking very short-term perspective in this scenario, possibly moving and gaining a quick little 3,000 or something like that. But based on what I'm seeing here, it looks like sometimes they're positive, sometimes they're negative, but they just keep on doing the trades. And this is why it's risky to even do it in this scenario. Monkey Magic, what's up? Hello, Monkey Magic. Evening, Hexicans. Yes, good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, you beautiful, beautiful people. Yeah, so checking out what their stakes look like. Whoops, not that website, this website. They have one of them ending in just a few days, so 11 days. You know what? I'm going to go to I'll look at these real fast. I get distracted very quickly. None of them are going longer than essentially it looks like a year. This one went for 2 years, June of 2022 up until June of 2024. They don't have anything going past it. Now they're trading millions of hex at a time to play that game and play that system. Do y'all ever find it weird when someone just pulls up in front of your house and just kind of like stops their car? You know, I feel like my house is on a corner, and so sometimes people will just like stop to I appreciate that, Jason, dude. Absolutely, so much love. I'll give this shout out first real fast. Jason, I'm new here. What's up, everybody? Dude, so much love. If you're new to the channel, comment in the chat right now. Just say new. I want to give you some love. I want to give you a shout out. I want to appreciate every single one for coming through as well. Jason, thank you so much for joining the channel, checking out my channel in the first place. If you aren't already subscribed, I do a daily stream live every single day at 1:30. If you like this information, I mean, heck, click that subscribe button. I'll see you in the chat more often. You get to see all these lovely folks that we're already chatting with as well. And join a part of the little ATX community as well. So if you're staked in HEX and you want to learn more about HEX and you want to learn more about PulseChain, that's what we discuss here as well, by the way. So looking at this right here, this dude right here ended up staking essentially no more than about 2 years, unfortunately, from what they actually had. And let's just go back over here. I want to copy this address, and I want to go to a different website real fast. If you don't already, you can go to a website called go.hex.com. This is typically where you're going to stake, but it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to be staked here. I'm going to paste in this address. Oh, I got to unlock MetaMask first. Well, let me get that unlocked real fast because I restarted my computer, so I got to get logged in. Bam, logged in there. Cool. And then let's go ahead and get this address pasted in as well. Use address from clipboard. All right. So it should be loading up their stakes here in just a moment. I'm just going to give it a second to kind of load up everything. Yeah, it's got them all loaded up right here. Okay, so fair enough. So this person has committed to complete their stakes up to 100% completion, right? So they started one September 24th of 2022, and they ended it October 1st. During that time, they actually staked 2.6 million hex. They were given 109. Can you imagine you had 109 T-shares at one point in time, and all of this is going to get copied when freaking PulseChain comes, and instead of having 109 T-shares, you now only have 8 T-shares. That is absolute wreckage, in my opinion. That is the epitome that I do not ever want to see myself reach. When I see this information, at one point in time, they had 176 T-shares. I mean, what is the math on that? That's less than 5%, I think, right? 8 divided or 176 divided by 8. What am I trying to do here? Divided by 8. Nope, 8 divided by 176. Yeah, so that is 4%. They only have 4% of the amount of T-shares that they once had. That's brutal, dude. And now they're trading. My gosh, man. Patience is definitely the name of the game in HEX. If you don't know about patience and delayed gratification, you're gonna want to learn about patience, because this has been an absolute, like, this is why I do the research and to like see this stuff myself, because Academiciated says crazy. I guess cocaine is a hell of a drug. Dude, that is a fucking brutal drug, man. Oh my gosh. You go from you have less than 4% of the T-shares you once had in less than a year. We haven't even gotten to September of 2023. And all these stakes happen in June of 2022. Like, my gosh, dude. Okay, now they're trading. Granted, to be fair, they had look at this. They had $147,000 at one point. Granted, HEX was probably worth more during this time in September. It was roughly, 7 cents or something like that, in that range. And now they only have, if I'm not mistaken, 107,000. So now they're playing this game of catch up where they're like, oh my gosh, I've lost money, right? But folks, you don't lose money until you actually sell. And it looks like this dude right here is, man, they're playing a dangerous game that I want no part of. But look, going back over here, they had 109 T-shares. God, imagine, dude. Imagine you have 109 T-shares and now you have 8. That is just brutal. The goal is to gather as many T-shares as you can because that's how you get rewarded. That's how we earn trustless yield every single day. You want to get as many T-shares as you can capture, as you can physically capture. Go freaking think of yourself as Pokemon, as Ash Ketchum. I got to catch them all. I got to get all the T-shares, right? Like literally, you had 176 and you now have 8. Dude, I can't. This dude has my mind all fucked, like straight up. They were getting roughly, dude, let me do the math, because you get roughly 6.3 hex per day. Over the last 6 months, that's what we've been averaging. So 6.3 hex per day per T-share that you have. You had 176. That was 1,108 hex per day. Just per day, you're making 1,100 hex per day. That's the best dollar cost average you can ever possibly do, is by staking, because every day you earn more hex, and it's essentially like you went and bought more hex, but without even having to buy more hex, you just had to stake it. So they were getting 1,100 hex per day, and even at 4 cents, that was $44 a day, and you do that over a month. That's $1,330 a month that you gave up. You lost. That's at 4 cents right now. I'll show you the math just for shits and gigs. I'll show you the math of what this looks like when Hex goes back up to 50 cents, because that's when shit just gets absolutely crazy. So we're going to say Hex is just 50 cents. It doesn't even go back to all-time highs. It's just 50 cents. That's $554 per day this person was making by having their Hex staked. So per month, they were making $16,632 per month because they were staked. And they just gave it all up. They gave it all up. Mind-blowing, dude. Don't end up like this person. Don't be like John. What are those commercials? Don't be that guy, right? I don't remember the exact commercial, but it has something along that line. Like, you don't want to be that guy at a party, right? And everyone knows who I'm talking about, that guy. Folks, this is phenomenal information as well. Let's just check this out. PulseChain. Let's just see what they got going on with GitLab. If you don't already know this, I check this every single day as well. I want to see where the developers are of PulseChain. Are they active still? And folks, every single day, Brett Tepp has been on since starting in the month of January, and he has been active every single day. That makes me bullish. We have 3 Commas Capital, another developer in this ecosystem. February 4th, 2023 was the last time he was on. SJB, February 2nd, 2023. Guys, this is bullish AF in my opinion. So we have more developers on now than ever, continually every single day, and that just makes me think that PulseChain is, man, when it launches, it's going to be gorgeous. It's going to be just gorgeous. So I'll close out these windows because, you know, that's just what we do. Look at the heat map of what's going on in the crypto space right now. Things are red, right? And so, like, don't feel bad that, like, Hex is down right now, because if you hold any crypto in general, you're down. You're down, son. And Hex is only down 1.83%, whereas you got other coins down 3+%. So don't feel bad. Keep holding tight. You know, things come back around. Are there any positive cryptos at this point in time? How do I look it up for positive? I want to close out everything but positive. So let's. Okay, so we got some positives. Fair enough. There's some positives. I'll give them props where it's due, but it's nothing I want to be paying attention to. So, anyways, looking at the liquidity for Hex, guys, this has been getting ate up. And I mean, there used to be at one point in time 50 million Hex in the liquidity pools, and I think now at this point in time there's something like 13 million Hex, right? So very low liquidity within these pools, but let's check it out to see where everything sits, because this is kind of where things get interesting. Now this moves, right? It's a constant moving cycle, because people are going to put limit orders in higher places. People are going to put sell orders in higher places. So it's always a moving metric for this wall. But you can see this is kind of where we're sitting right now at the 3.8 cents level. And everything to the left of this line is essentially a sell order. So it's basically saying that people are willing to sell when the price of Hex reaches this price, and it'll automatically sell with the limit orders. And I saw this go up to about 5.5 cents. So if we can get past 5.5 cents, I'm not going to say we're going to go to the moon. I'm not going to say there's no one that's going to stop us, because this wall will move with the price. So as the price actually reaches 5.8 cents, the wall is going to progress forward as well, possibly up to 7 cents, up to 10 cents, so on and so forth. But it's a pretty good indicator if you're looking to put in limit orders yourself as to where you might want to put limit orders at, right? You want to always make sure that you can get it played and take advantage of it as well. So when you actually see this limit order right here, it's basically saying like, okay, I want to make sure that my order gets filled first. So what I'm going to try to do is place a limit order, for example, at 4.15 cents, because at 4.17 and on up to 4.25, there's a massive limit order area right here where yours may or may not get filled, especially if the price just quickly wicks up and wicks back down. So if you're trying to play this in a system that says, I want to take profit, I want to have a good situation, I've looked at my profit taking spreadsheet, and so based on this spreadsheet right here, I'm going to be taking price at 4.4 cents because it's done a double, right? And again, I'm going to adjust the initial price here to just 2 cents for 0.02. So this little spreadsheet here, and again, you can choose how much you want to take, whether it be 5%, up to 25. I mean, heck, you could even really go up to 90%. Don't really recommend doing anything more than 5 to 15% personally, but everyone's going to have their own play. So you would say, I want to set a limit order here because I bought $1,000 worth of HEX at 2 cents and it gave me 50,000 coins. So what I'm going to do when the price hits 4 cents is I'm going to take 5% profit. I'm going to take out 2,500, and that's where I'm going to put my limit order in. So now when the price reaches this limit order in place, I want this limit order to be in this range, right? And did I do that correctly? Yeah, 4 cents. Yeah, so I'm going to put a limit order here at 4 cents. So I'm going to say, and we're pretty dang close, but you would put a limit order to sell right here at 4 cents. And you can use this metric to say, do I sell at 4 cents? Do I sell at 4.1 cents? 4.03 cents? Whatever the case may be, you have to make that decision yourself. But you just set a limit order so that way it automatically sells 2,500 HEX when the price reaches that point. It kind of locks in some profit. You lock in $100 in profit. You still have 47,000 coins remaining. And if you can't see, that's all what this spreadsheet does for you as well. So it'll automatically do the math. If you like the 5% strategy, then this whole area up top is going to be the one you want to look at. However, like we talked about, you can adjust this to fit whatever criteria you're looking for, and you can use it for 10%. So maybe you want to take 10%. You would sell 5,000 coins when the price reaches 4 cents. Set this limit order up for you based on what this spreadsheet can tell you. It's a great way to make profit and also not make emotional decisions. So that way when the price hits that number, you automatically get your order filled and you feel so much better. You get to hold that profit now and wait for everything to come around. But yeah, that's just a little quick test showcase there of how that whole thing works. All right. So moving on to the next crazy person over here. So that dude over there who's trading, what, dude, that blows my mind. You had 176 T-shares and now you have 8. What are you doing? What are you doing? You're playing the game wrong. That's not how you stake, folks. Hello, Hexicans. Hello, Doug. How are you, my friend? I get that dude just has me all worked up, man. And you're going to do whatever you want. Don't get me wrong. You're able to do whatever you want. You're a grown-ass person. But that is not how you play the game of HEX, folks. So moving on to what we see over here. So that one that we just checked out was C17. And you can see it right over here, which is the maker address. This is the address who is selling or buying or doing whatever for the Etherscan website and their Ethereum wallet. So next we're going to be seeing D69. And you can see pretty often D69 did 2 sells pretty fast back to back. And they sold roughly close to about 4 million HEX. So if you want to see like why they're doing it, well, I want to see what they're doing with the money, right? I'm always very curious about this stuff because, this is how you learn, folks. Like they had 4 million HEX and they basically cashed out $150,000. Now, was it the right time? No. Was it a good decision for them? I don't know, right? Did they need it for something in particular? Are they just taking profit like we talk about? Like, they are now sitting on $296,000 in terms of their overall wallet in USDC terms. It seems like most of their stuff that they do is converted back into USDC fairly quickly. So they're sitting on now a stack of we'll call it $300,000. Have they sold anything? Have they done anything else with it? Are they swapping it out anywhere? Again, you just go to this ERC20 transactions once you're in the Etherscan website, and again, we're checking out D69 for their wallet address, cool wallet address name. And then we have basically 2,500 sold here. Okay, cool. That car that was outside my house has moved on. I always feel like I gotta get strapped real fast. You know what I mean? Got a little protection right under my table right here in the office. So if anything ever happens, again, I'm in Texas, right? So if you don't own a gun, you're crazy. But you just get a little strapped real quick and just, if you got to handle business, and let them come to your door and you handle your business. All right, so we got another trader on our hands. How do we know that they're trading? Pretty easy, folks. You can see that they're just literally buying HEX and then swapping their HEX for USDC. So they have been converting their USDC and buying HEX, and then converting that HEX into USDC, and you can see how active they are too. This is another good indicator that someone's trading. Because, I mean, look at this. No one's this active unless you're trading, right? So 3 days ago, 4 days ago, 4 days ago, right? 2 days ago, 2 hours ago, 2 hours, and then you get into like hours, right? And so like this is someone who's clearly trading. But as always, folks, I want to see, are they staked, right? Do they understand the benefit of HEX? So what I do is just go to the very last tab. If you click on View All, you can click on the very last tab over here. And this just takes you all the way back to essentially the beginning transactions of this wallet. So if we go all the way here, at one point in time, they transferred some DAI stablecoin in. They found HEX and discovered it around this time. So January 4th of 2022. This was around the sacrifice phase for PulseX as well. I don't see that they had anything sent to the PulseX sacrifice because it is named PulseX sacrifice. So you can literally see if it's sent there right away. But again, they started trading all the way back here, right? Whether it be 65,000 HEX, and then they converted that HEX into USDC, and then they bought some more HEX, 64,000 HEX. They lost on that trade. Converted some more back into USDC. Now it's only worth 32,000, or maybe they just took a small bit of profit. They had 187,000 that they bought. Have they ever staked? And again, folks, what we're looking for on the stake is just a null address. It's a very easy thing to take a quick peeky-weeky at. If you don't see any null address, then they've never staked. It's as simple as that. Now, it's obviously you don't have to look at every page. You can obviously go to another website that shows it so much easier, like hexfire.io, for example, or stakehex.today, or many other websites that are out there and available. But this person has basically been trading HEX and converting it into USDC for quite some time. Now, they could have had another address, and that's always tough, right? And sometimes people will have multiple addresses. But as always, what I want to try to figure out is what these folks are thinking. And so I go to go.hex.com. I love this website, one, because if it allows me to actually look at the actual stakes, if they've had any. It didn't pull up any at all right now. So very easy to understand that this person, this wallet at least, has never staked their HEX. You can also go to another website, again, hexfire.io. And in this website, we can see that again, they've never staked, right? And so you can scroll over and you can see number of stakes made, number of stakes ended, 0 for both. So this particular wallet has never once staked their HEX. This is one of those interesting things that I find people are coming into the HEX ecosystem and not understanding the true benefit of why you buy HEX. The purpose of HEX is so that way you can stake it. By staking it, you delay your gratification, and by delaying that gratification, you earn more HEX. And so I got a lot of folks who are, you know, coming new to the ecosystem of HEX and maybe don't really understand. It's not like your typical crypto. That I want to share this with everyone, folks. HEX is not your typical crypto that you just buy and hold. HEX is something that you truly need to do a little bit more due diligence and understand, like, what are you actually buying, right? What is it that you're getting? Well, with HEX, you get the ability to get not only... sorry, I'm adjusting my screen as we talk. Good old me, right? ADHD. You not only get the ability to earn more trustless yield every single day, but it's not like your typical crypto that I see a lot of folks are falling into this world that, like, you know, it's not something you should trade personally. Like, I don't think that's the play you should be making. There are many other cryptos that are out there. If you want to go and make the trade in that sense, go do it there. But like HEX can move very volatile. And during this time over the last year in the bear market, 6 months, we have been, you know, right here in this little 3-cent range for quite some time. And so it's kind of just capitulated back and forth over and over again, where we just, you know, since June of here, we've been in this 3 to 5 cent range for quite some time, broke below it. Now it's above. So we definitely have been here in this region for some time. Don't get me wrong. I get it. It's a way that if you want to trade, that actually might be more beneficial for someone trading, because it's actually more stable, because it's capitulated in a zone. So you can almost trade between this zone and feel like you've made some pretty good decisions, because you go here, you go here, you go here, and you just keep doing this over and over and over again. That's one way of doing it. Again, I don't think that's the way you should play this, but to everyone's got their own method, right? So I'm going to get rid of this right here. All right. So this person, so far we got 2 traders with HEX, and they are definitely selling massive amounts of HEX, and then they'll go back and buy it up again whenever it's lower, and that's the way they're playing it right now. This is also a great time of redistribution of wealth, right? When you see a nice red day like we are in right now today. This is what you call that This is what we call that redistribution of wealth, right? So these folks who are up in this region playing the game of trading, selling their HEX, they're just distributing it to so many other people, because you can see this because we have 277 sellers and we have 412 buyers. Granted, the sellers are selling way more in terms of dollar value, but the buyers are actually buying it. Plus, that T-share rate actually only goes up and to the right. Yeah, so HEX is a very unique animal. Like, it's something that you definitely need to spend some time to understand. But once you understand the principles behind HEX, the fact that it's a mutable code, the fact that it pays you trustless yields without sucking any middleman D, the fact that you can actually get it early right now today, and like there is no better time to stake your HEX than today, because you're going to get more T-shares today for the same amount of HEX than you will tomorrow. Why? Because every single day that T-share rate ratchets up. So the way the whole system of HEX is designed so that way you actually get a nice little area right here. And I'll show you what I'm talking about here by going to hexdailystats.com. But this is a T-share rate adjustment right here, right? So T-share is the amount of HEX it costs to get 1 T-share. I want to change something real fast on this screen. Give me 1 sec here. Cool. Got rid of the little green screen. Or green effect. So right here you can see that today it's already, yesterday it cost 25,684 HEX to get 1 T-share. The day before that it was 25,678, and the day before that 25,671. Literally every day that goes by, it gets harder and harder and harder and costs more and more HEX to get yourself 1 T-share. The goal is to capture as many T-shares as you possibly can, because that's how you're going to get paid. And once again, we're going to see the T-share rate go up to 25,692. At one point in time, when HEX was first launched in December of 2019, it only cost 10,000 HEX to get 1 T-share. So in 3 years' time, it's already gone up to be 25,692. In fact, I have this little spreadsheet here that does this math for us in a nice, easy way. And it actually says that during this time, the overall adjusted and adjustment in the T-share has gone up an average of 385 hex every single month that passes, folks. So what that means is right now, based on this number alone, we can see this number going up another 382 hex by the end of February, right? So come March, we're going to see this number hit 26,000 hex, right? And if it's not there, it'll be pretty darn close. And this number has been an average over the last 3 years or 38 months. This number has continued to go up every single time. So the longer you wait to stake your hex, the harder and harder it gets to actually get a T-share because it costs more and more and more hex. Now, granted, the price at this point in time allows you to scoop up a lot more hex than you used to be able to. And so, of course, that's going to benefit you if you're wanting to capture some more T-shares. But don't be like the dude that we saw at the beginning of this where you once had 180 T-shares and now you only have 8. That you're playing the game wrong, right? The goal is to get as many T-shares as you can. So anyways, I just wanted to share that information with you. Who else do we have that's a really big seller over here? We got some buyers, of course, in A22. I'm going to look at this buy right here because sometimes when these folks buy, they typically have more dollars sitting in the sideline waiting to buy. So let's take a little peeky-weeky over here. We got another trader on our hands. Have I only looked at traders? Anyone over $50,000 apparently just trades. They don't actually believe in staking. This is wild. I don't think I've ever run back to back to back and seen 3 traders in this span. How do I know that they're trading again, folks? You can see these transactions are way too frequent. It's okay, Journey. Hey, what's wrong? Oh, you see a doggy? You're such a silly boy. Oh my gosh, you're such a silly boy. Did you protect us? Yeah, you did. Yeah, you did. I would pick him up, but he does not like being picked up. Well, we have all big dogs here at my house. We got 4 dogs in total, plus a board and train. So the house is an absolute zoo. The wife's out with 2 of them right now, and so she's bringing them back here shortly, coming from Starbucks. You know, got to get that daily coffee energy type feels. But yeah, so this person's trading. How do we know that? They are very active, folks. You usually don't see this kind of activity unless a person's trading. So 8 hours, 16 hours, 23 hours, 1 day, right? 2 days. This activity comes from trading, unfortunately, right? It's as simple as that. They had $100,000. They bought $314,000. They sold some HEX and bought USDC. They bought some more HEX and then sold it into USDC, right? So they continue to go with this cycle, and this is if they're able to make money, cool. It's just a way that like you could get wrecked so freaking fast, and I'm not going to recommend anyone play this game. That's why we have a profit-taking strategy. It's different than trading. You don't want to be caught up in this world where you make these emotional decisions based on these trades. It's a very, very tough world to be in. But let's see. God, they've only had this wallet. These are all the transactions they've done in this wallet. So they literally created this wallet. They sent in $100,000 from this address. Well, now we got a peaky week over here. I got to figure it out. Do they got money in HEX in another world? Because then they immediately converted that HEX. Again, this wallet has only been active for 2 days, folks. So maybe they're trying to avoid the IRS and not have to worry about paying all these fees. I don't know how it works. But they essentially got this HEX. They sold out of that HEX and got some more USDC. This is 2 days ago. They again bought some more HEX with it. So now they're sitting on, 1.5 million HEX, and then they sold that into USDC again. Now they're sitting on 70,000. I mean, to be fair, they started out with 100,000 and now they're sitting at 126,000 in the wallet. I mean, $26,000 in 2 days. Kudos, bro. Kudos. That's clearly a game that they're willing to play. It's just a game that I'm not personally willing to play. But let's take a look and see if they got any other stuff. This is the wallet that they sent the initial 100,000 from. Okay, so they have $2,000 that they hold in this wallet, and it looks like this was when they did that transaction and moved the 100,000 over. That was probably the biggest transaction that they've received. All in all, they had, they basically haven't really been doing anything. They got another 100,000 here, converted it with USDC. Don't like what I see here, but everyone's got their own little way. Let's see how far back this wallet goes. This wallet only goes back 9 days ago. You know what I mean? Like, this person doing something crazy, because they did the same thing over here with this wallet. They got 100,000 here. They bought some HEX and converted that USDC into HEX, and then they sold some HEX and then bought some more HEX and converted and just kept trading on this one too. So it looks like between these two wallets, E475, and then this wallet here, which is 9A22, between these two wallets, they've never staked their HEX once. It looks like either this wallet's down in the position right now. I don't know exactly what all their positions are. If they're willing to even wait a couple of days, because it looks like these folks are just freaking out whenever something happens. Price goes up, I gotta sell. Price goes down, I gotta sell. I gotta buy, I gotta sell. I gotta buy, I gotta sell. Like, dude, I don't want that stress in my life, bro. I'm telling you, it ain't worth it. $26,000 in a short-term span of time. Not a bad return on your time, but man, if it doesn't last long, folks, because again, we're gonna see this price eventually. They're gonna sell it. It'll be a 3-cent sell, and then the price is just gonna fucking skyrocket. PulseChain launch is gonna come around. These people may not even be knowledgeable enough to understand why the price is doing what it's doing. They may not even know about PulseChain launching, and so they're like, oh shit, a quick little double in money. Cool, this is cool. And so they're seeing it in like a play like that, right? Because again, in the last 3 days, right, we saw a pretty big 2x potential. In the last 2 weeks, there have been a 2x already. But like in the same sense of what these folks are doing, man, when the pulse chain comes, this price could just go and just fly. And I mean fly to the moon. And so they're going to get caught with their pants down on one of these trades. It's just inevitable. They're going to go in. They're going to go big. They're going to say, okay, I'm going to sell out at 3 cents and I'll sell out at 3.8 cents and I'll buy back when it reaches 3.5. And I'm just using numbers as an example. And then we get PulseChain news announcement, and then fucking we never see 3 cents again for at least quite a bit of time. And then they're like, oh shit, I should just buy some at 5 cents. And indeed, I promise, it's never good trading. Everything gets way too emotional. I used to be in this world, and it's just not a fun world to be in. Now I'm in the world of delaying my gratification and staking, and the weight that gets lifted off your shoulder, the amount of relief and stress that you don't even have to worry about anything. Oh my gosh, it's glorious. It's beautiful. It really is. I mean that like with all sincerity, for real. It is absolutely one of the best things that's ever happened to me in my life. For my spouse, for my relationship, for my health, for my future generational wealth. So many better things happen based on that alone, not just trading. So I don't even have to see if this person's staked. I already know they're not. So again, like I'm not even going to bother looking to see if they are, because these wallets have only been active for 8 days and they didn't send anything to even stake. And so eventually these folks are going to get, in a situation where they get wrecked, and that's just is what it is, right? Cool. Well, do we have any other big sellers over here? BB1. I think this was one of the ones that I had actually pulled up. Yeah, 7BB was one that I had actually seen the other day. This is a whale address by all means, guys. This is a whale of a whale. They have $3.7 million in USDC alone. And so this was a big old whale, $3.7 million in USDC, and they were actually getting active with HEX as well over the last few days. So they had actually ended up doing some liquidity providing as well. They actually got 22 million HEX, and they provided some liquidity based on these two things right here. So they put up $67,000 and put up 22 million HEX to provide liquidity on these areas, and they were able to they when you do that, you're able to earn some yield by LPing and in that regard. So they're playing a different world, and we're not even a part of that world. You can be, but it gets very tricky, and there is such a thing as impermanent loss, and if you don't understand what that means, then it's not worth you doing. But they converted basically 22 million HEX and got 1 million USDC, In return, they put up again this protocol for limit orders here. So 30 million hex was put up, and again 1.2 million. So they've been providing liquidity during this time and basically earning the money in that regard. It's just a different way of getting it done for sure. But they are actually pretty active. Let's see if they're staked. This is actually something I didn't look up earlier, so now I'm very curious to see if this person who's sitting on $3.2 million or $3.7 million is staked in the game. They are not even staked, guys. Like, this blows my mind, right? Granted, they got money. They got $3.7 million. That's money, right? I think to anyone's mind, anyone's understanding, that's some money right there, in my opinion. I think any one of us would be thankful to have $3.7 million, right? But to think that they aren't staked at all is pretty crazy, right? So now I'm going to see if like they have anything back before all this. So I'm going to go back all the way up to the last page over here. Because again, it looks like they've even never been staked, right? If I go down, you can see right here, they've never had a stake made. They've never ended a stake. So there's no point in me going to see what their stakes at one point in time look like, because they've never actually had a stake on this particular wallet. Whoops, where was I going just a second? Oh, to look at the amounts. So converted it from Kraken. They got 1 million sent in here. 13, I don't even know what those coins are. They got another 1.82 million. So this is coming from this wallet right here. And this is why I always dive in a little deeper, because I want to get a little bit better understanding that like maybe they are staked somewhere and they just, have it done this way. But no, they literally got 1.8 million here and did a little bit of moving. 22. Okay, that's not USDC. I was like 22 million. Holy shit. But yeah, 1.8 million here, and they sent it out to this address that we're currently looking at right now, the 7BB. This is the address that we're currently looking at. This is 7BB right here. Crazy. Yeah, I mean, the market's going to be volatile, folks, and like the market's going to be volatile. It's going to be up to you to make that decision as to what play you're going to make with it. I personally think that because of the staking mechanism behind HEX and the way it works, and the fact that I get paid every single day without having to worry about trying to do these trades, it makes things so much easier, in my opinion. So I'm definitely going to probably advise looking into staking for these folks. It seems like, I mean, this dude's got $3.7 million and you don't have something staked. I mean, I think that's just a lack of information, possibly. Maybe they just want HEX and they just in it for for what's possible in HEX, right? Let me go back, because now that I think about it, the sacrifice phase for PulseChain was well over. Let me go back to their oldest one here. The sacrifice phase, this is from September of 2022. The sacrifice phase for PulseChain was July of 2021, right? And then we had the PulseChain PulseX sacrifice from December to January of 2022. So, I mean, yeah, these folks weren't even around for that. And, I was thinking maybe they were just using it for like a play to get some HEX, to have it copied over. I don't know. The risk to reward for me just isn't quite there, right? I just don't see it happening in that regard. But, we each have our own little metrics right here that we all love. So, yeah, absolutely. Jason, thank you so much for all the love. Thank you again for all the appreciation and support that we have from every single one of you folks. Lovely, beautiful people. Love the channel so far. Great information on HEX. I'm definitely buying HEX and staking it long term. Yes. Have a nice little ladder set up so you don't, regret the decision of staking, right? That's just, if you don't understand staking ladders, right? I have a good little snowball strategy that you can actually do by staking once a month. You can do 15 stakes using the Staker app, and it does all 15-year stakes all at once, and you can literally do it once a month, or once a quarter, should I say. And so essentially the way you do it is on the Staker app, you can do multiple stakes, and you just say every 3 months for 15 years. and it'll automatically do everything for you, and you can just click stake, and it'll set up a ladder in that regard for 15 years to end every quarter. Well, and then come at the end of next quarter. So say I'll just use January for example. We're in January, then you go to April, then you do another one in July, and then you do another one in October. And you do these 4 ladders for 1 year, and you'll have yourself paid quarterly for the next 15 years. Kind of hard to explain if you don't really understand how the whole staking system works, but that's the basic understanding of it, and I definitely think you might want to look into that a little bit more, into how to set up a ladder. StakerApp does a phenomenal job. It's well worth paying. The $10, you actually get a Gnosis safe wallet as well, which is one of the most secure wallets you can have. If you want access to the StakerApp, it is in the link down in the description below as well. I've been trying to collect all the T-shares that I can. This seems so crazy, but I'm new at this. Doug, you're doing great, right? That's the whole purpose, right? Whether it be 1 T-share, 5 T-shares, 10 T-shares, 100, 1,000, you want to get as many as you can for folks who don't understand this, because like one day HEX will reach a point where you're getting paid, even if it's 5 HEX per day per T-share, but HEX has reached, $10. That's $50 per day just per T-share that you have, right? And so if you can have, say, 10 T-shares in the future, and it extends that out, again, that's $500 a day, and it gets even crazier than that. So I definitely think everyone should be, or $5,000 a day, should I say. It definitely gets even crazier than that, and that's definitely something I highly advise people look into. Staking is the way to go. Academatiated says, for those HEX traders, there is a max. Yeah. Or for those, there's a max. Yeah. For sure. At Jason, T-share rate due to make significant jump in a few weeks. Staking works well. Yeah, there's going to be a person ending, I think it's like a 4 billion HEX stake or something like that. Or that's coming up here in the next few weeks. It's going to be 2 billion, something like that. So definitely, pay attention to it, because when people end a stake, it does ratchet up the T-shares, and that's how that whole system works. So if you get a big person who ends stake, you end up getting a lot of it kind of pulled back. But folks, that's going to be wrapping up the stream for today. I absolutely love every single one of you folks who are coming in, tuning in. Come back tomorrow. Be sure to like, subscribe, and I'll catch you in the next one. Peace.